Well, hey, how you rock stars? What is really going on? You are indeed on the morning walk with Christina, and a little early today because I have what I hope to be the last. Boy, look at this hair. Let me flip myself around because I look a mess. What I hope to be the last meeting with my manager. I hope it's the last one. I'm praying it is, but we'll soon find out. But let me flip y'all around. I hope y'all had a wonderful week last week and that things are going well for you. The weather, as you can kind of see, here is sort of overcast. And I brought a teeny weeny little umbrella with me just in case it starts raining, which is that's just like, what is this substance falling from the sky? We haven't seen rain in months. And this morning when I first woke up, I was hearing the rain come down. And I thought, wow, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I just bought some starters for my garden to get started over again. I bought quite a bit of cabbage and stuff like that. And I went out to my garden. Well, I bought this cabbage like the week before last, something like that, and put it in ground. And then I went to look at it this past week and saw that it had been eaten. So I guess the squirrels have returned or something has returned to eat it up and it's eating it. So I'm going to try to put some more starters in there and try to get started all over again on it and see if I can keep it. Put the cayenne pepper out because I know they hate cayenne pepper. It's going to be kind of hard to do because for the rest of this week, there's a good chance of rain. So I'm going to try to get these in. Normally when you put starters in, good morning Weatherman Productions, aka Breaking Bad, like your name, you can get them in to the ground before a good rain. They normally take off 10 times better and they grow 10 times bigger to start with. It gives them a good head start. So I'm going to try today to get them in the ground. Hey, all you good rock stars, what's really going on? But yeah, other than that, I had a really good week last week. The last couple of days before the weekend, I was off work for my birthday, just living it up, having a good time. Yeah, I'm trying to grow some cabbage and some squash and collard greens for Thanksgiving. And I'm having problems with squirrel. We have a whole lot of squirrel around here, and they will just jump into the raised bed and just start eating as though they're invited. They don't like peppermint and they don't like cayenne pepper. So I've been keeping them away, but anytime I water, I have to remember to put those things back out. I even planted a peppermint plant, and and these squirrels are so gangster and thug that they dug the plant up and just left it there for me like, oh, so you thought by planting this it was going to stop us? Not so much. So yeah, they're really getting on my nerves. But I'm not going to let them stop. I'm not going to let them stop me. I'm going to keep putting cayenne pepper and keep running them off. They hate the smell of it. So just keep doing it. Chips in an owl statue. I didn't think about that. I might have like scarecrow for fall to decorate with. Maybe I'll just stick it out there. I hadn't even thought about that. That's a good idea, Weatherman. Very, very good idea. Yeah, that's a real good idea. Hadn't thought about that. So yeah, the deer, oh yeah, gorgeous as they are, I know they'll eat through a lot of stuff. It's just the nature. They figure free veggies, why not? And so that's what they do. That's what they do. But other than the issues that I'm still dealing with that are about to come to an end because it's the end of the month, I'm at peace. I'm at peace. What I want is for everybody around me to be at peace. This is election season, and every 4 years, as far as America's concerned, there's this deep divide, and it's amongst neighbors. You know, it's Republican against Democrat. It's Kamala Harris against Donald Trump, and everybody just goes in and 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 in ad nauseum. And while you may have your viewpoints and your opinions, and you could pray and you can fast and you can do all of these things and just swear up and down that you know you're right about it all, and yeah, when I agree. Well, I may not agree. That, unfortunately, is where we're going. That's absolutely where we're going, and I don't see any way around it because that's where it's going. And that's where it's going, and B, it's biblical. It's Bible. It's Bible. It's gonna happen whether we want it to or not. The best we can do is pray and prepare. Really, as an American citizen, you have the right to vote. You have the right to bear arms. You have freedom of speech to a certain extent. You have freedom of religion. You have these rights and privileges, but none of them are commandments. You can do it or not do it. When you tell people what you're going to do or what you don't do, you give them the right and the option also to critique it. You can do, in that regard, you can do as you wish as far as that's concerned, as far as your rights are concerned. And you have a host of other rights. Some you'll take advantage of, some you won't, but all of them are just that, rights. And that's one thing I want people who are gung-ho either way to consider. Consider your rights. Consider the ones that you are gung-ho about, and consider the ones that are no big deal to you, and weigh them on the same scale, realizing that they're all just that, rights. You can if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. And that's just how it is. If you're going, I want the people who are all gung-ho too to bear in mind this. If your vote does not come in complete agreement and alignment with the electoral college for your state and the electoral college nationwide, if your vote doesn't align with the vote of the elected electors for your state, you're not going to get your candidate. I don't care what you do. The electoral college will decide the next president of the United States. Now, if your vote happens to align with the electoral college, you'll get your candidate. But if it does not, you will not. You need to bear that in mind too. And if you're going to exercise your right to vote, then certain other obligations come with that right to vote. and the obligation of jury service and things surrounding jury service come with that right to vote. If you're going all in for this candidate to vote, you need to keep that same energy at the criminal courts, the civil courts. You need to keep that same energy for jury service. Don't be hypocritical. You know that when you vote, the voter registration log for the jury services in your city and state is activated and you're on it. And that, yeah, it is. We haven't had rain, Taha, in the last good rain we had was July. And here it is 4 months later. We just haven't had any rain. The only green parts you see in my neighbors' yards here are where they actually watered. We haven't had any rain. The first rain we've had since July was this morning. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully this next system that's coming in is supposed to give us way more rain. The rest of this week, there are good chances of rain, and I pray that we get all of it. But yeah, if you're going to be gung-ho for voting and try to vote shame people who've decided that they don't care for either candidate or their policies, then I want you to keep that same energy when you're called for jury summons, and don't dodge it. Don't opt out of it. You know, I'm a registered voter and I vote. I don't make it known because that's my right of privilege. I can make it known. I can shout it from the rooftops, or I don't have to tell anybody. And I find it's best when I don't tell anybody, because no matter which person, which candidate you decide you want, you're opening yourself up to an argument. And with this birthday I just had last week, I understand that I only have so much longer to be here anyway. I have more years behind me than I do ahead. And I'm not going to spend it arguing with somebody over somebody I don't know and probably will never meet in this lifetime. It's not worth it to me. It's a colossal waste of energy for me, and I'm just not going to do it. I'm just saying, if you're going to vote and you're a registered voter and you voted or you're going to vote, then don't duck your responsibility of going to jury service and serving on juries. I've served on criminal cases and federal cases. I've served on federal court cases. You know, every time I've been called for jury duty, I've served. It was to the point where I got stuck in the system. It's been about 10 or 15 years. And I got stuck in the system, and I got put on a federal case, big time drug dealer, and was serving there. And after it was all said and done and they sentenced, the judge was like, Kristina, can you come up to he got my whole name, which is frightening. Can you come to the front, please? And so I came to the front after he dismissed the jury. He just dismissed everybody, but he said, Kristina, can you come to the front, please? And I was just like, oh Lord, what have I done? I hadn't done anything, but I came to the front and he said, is this your third jury summons for the year? I said, yeah. He was like, you're only supposed to serve like maybe, you're only supposed to serve maybe once a year, maybe twice. He said, and so he was looking at the system. He was like, it's like every 3 months they're calling you down here. I said, yeah, they are. He was like, well, why haven't you tried to exempt yourself? I said, well, there are no exemptions for that. If they call you, they call you. You know, I don't qualify for any of the exemptions. And he was like, well, we're gonna fix that today. It's gonna be a while for you to come back down here because That's insane. And I was like, well, I mean, what do I do? Either I serve or it could be a warrant issue for my arrest and then you gonna come get me anyway. And he just started laughing. But but my point is, it's inconvenient. It's inconvenient, but it's the byproduct of voting. Keep that same energy at Jerusalem. I can't tell you how many people who are like diehard Republican, diehard Democrat that I see every time I go to Jerusalem do everything in their power to get out of serving on the juries. And I just don't like the hypocrisy. If you're gonna do one and be gung ho about it, be just as gung ho about the other. I didn't mean for this to be a political rant, but y'all get what I'm saying. Y'all understand exactly what I'm saying. I want to say this too. And yeah, my hair is just really, really wild and crazy looking, but I don't really care. We need to pray for this nation. We need to pray for the nations around the world. And we need to understand the times that we're actually in. The times that we're in are biblical. The great falling away has happened. A lot of us are living with the strong delusion that the Lord said he was sin. The separation of the sheep from the goats is happening right now. And it's the beginning of sorrows in a lot of ways. It's not just election season. There is a increase of demonic activity happening right now. And we need to be under the Lord's cover, period. We need to be praying like never before because we're going to need each other like never before. When it's all said and done, the Electoral College decides who the next president of the United States is. But beyond that, beyond November the 5th, beyond January of next year, when the president-elect will begin to serve, we still have to live with each other. You can go as hard for Kamala or Donald as you would like, but unless you're moving in with them come November the 5th, all of these people you are bashing and chastising and shaming and belittling and ridiculing, you're going to still be in the neighborhood with them. And you're going to have to live with them. And with what's coming, you're going to need them. You're not going to be able to call Kamala or Donald on the phone. You're not going to be able to get them. But your neighbor next door, your neighbor across the street, the elected officials in your neighborhood, you're going to need them. You're going to need them. Be kind. Be kind. Be kind. People who vote for Kamala, they're people. People who vote for Donald, they're people. We're all people. And after it's all said and done, we're still going to need each other. If you get who you want in office, you're still going to need your neighbors. If you don't get them, you're still going to need your neighbors. The people you're voting for is not going to be here, but your neighbors are. And you're going to need them. Pray for them. If you don't agree with them, pray for them. If you agree with them, pray for them. You're going to need each other. You're going to need each other. What does the Lord command us to do? He commands us to love him with all our heart, all our souls, all our minds, and all of our strength, with every fiber of our being. And the second commandment is like it, and that's to love thy neighbor as thyself. As times get worse and worse, us will begin to flip and do more. We need each other. Goodbye, rock stars.